Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the garage and welcome to Shit You Missed this week in Hollywood. I'm hoping around 5 or 10 minutes every week, just kind of wrapping up the most surprising, interesting, or important stories in movies pretty much specifically, but we may branch out of that if it comes to like music, television, just entertainment news in general. Some of the things that might not be the biggest stories of the week, but ones that jumped out to me to where I was like, holy shit, I want to kind of talk about that. First up is something that we pretty much ended the week with, and that was Netflix's TUDUM, which, by the way, until literally yesterday, I have been calling that conference or ceremony, whatever the hell it is, TUDUM, but it's TUDUM? That makes no fucking sense. Have you guys even heard the sound? TUDUM. All right, so Netflix is kind of on my shit list because of the theatrical release window and the lack thereof. This is how they get me, because they've gotten these deals with these really, like, great auteur filmmakers that are some of the best alive doing it right now. David Fincher, Rian Johnson, Guillermo del Toro, the list goes on. The last two that I mentioned at TUDUM, we got the trailers or the teasers, whatever you want to call it, for Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein and for Rian Johnson's new Knives Out movie, Wake Up Dead Man. Let me give you a couple quick thoughts on each of those. For GDT's Frankenstein, holy shit. Oh my God, it looks literally exactly like I was hoping it would look, which I don't know why I would ever doubt it, because it frankly just looks like a Guillermo del Toro movie, especially when it's like a gothic or a creature feature type of film, which he's obviously delved into before. In fact, most of his filmography centers around one or both of those things. So in this film, they held the monster from us, the visuals, Jacob Elordi's monster. We got to see kind of the ominous presence and the huge stature of him when he comes up and is risen on the table that he's being operated on. And then later on in the trailer, there's like a fight sequence where he sounds like he's coming after Victor Frankenstein, who is portrayed by Oscar Isaac. And we hear his voice. He says Victor, but we don't see him. He's wearing like a cloak and a hood, so you still can't see his face or if he has the bolts in the neck or any of that shit. So, a la Nosferatu last year, I really, really hope that Netflix, if you're listening, the marketing team, and even more so than the marketing team, guys, is us as the movie-going public. Or in this case, the sitting on the fucking couch drinking beer, if you're me, public. Do not spoil things that are meant to be held under wraps to enhance the viewing experience for the first time for a lot of folks, especially super fans of the classic Mary Shelley story, or even Guillermo del Toro, or just creature features, movies, horror films. Sometimes the surprise of seeing something for the first time, even though you know what Frankenstein looks like, he's literally right back here on my wall, you know what he looks like, but we don't know what Del Toro's and we don't know what Elordi's monster looks like, right? So let them experience that. Now with Netflix, it's probably going to get like a 1-week theatrical, which is a fucking bummer. This is a movie that should literally live in the cinema for like at least a month or two before it's on a streaming service. I do like that it's going to be on a streaming service, but I can already tell you that I'm going to be disappointed with how quickly it's going to go from theatrical to streaming. And of course, I don't know, that hasn't been announced, but I just know that based on Netflix's history, I don't expect a huge theatrical run here. Hopefully, a lot of us will get a chance to see it on the big screen if it comes to our city. The other huge one I want to talk about real quick, though, that could be an Oscars or awards player, is Rian Johnson's Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man. The cast in this thing is fucking astronomical. I'm not thinking that Wake Up Dead Man is going to get a ton of love at the Oscars. I don't really have it in really any of my predictions at the current moment. But after kind of seeing the TUDUM, God, I hate saying that. Maybe I'll just incorporate the sound every time I say it. But after seeing the ceremony and seeing the cast come out and do the cool little bit they did where that's not what you think or like whatever, and it was like a mystery sound drop that they had. It goes all the way through the cast. All these big names. Jeremy Renner, which you wouldn't think would show up to this thing, he's there. And you're like, all right, Rian Johnson led the thing off, so this is fucking everybody but Daniel Craig. That makes sense. Even Glenn Close sent in like a little video of her driving to the ceremony, which I'm sure was pre-recorded, but it was fucking hilarious because she called everybody a motherfucker in it. And she mentioned that, hey, I've been nominated 8 times, not 7 times. Mother. I don't know can I say that on what am I on? I almost said Netflix. It looks good. Rian Johnson's got previous nominations for adapted screenplay. I don't know that that's going to happen again with a 3rd film. But it could, because he's a fucking great writer, great filmmaker. But I do think it's going to get a Best Casting nomination. And I was actually going back and forth on Twitter last night with my buddy Matt saying, yeah, this thing should be nominated for Best Casting. Look at these fucking people. I mean, this is like a who's who of not only big names, but names that are like right at the cusp of like proving themselves to the world. And I'm thinking of actresses like Kaylee Spaney, who is one of my favorites working today. Other things that were announced that I won't touch on like for a long period of time like I did for those 2, because there's not really any other awards players in my opinion. But Happy Gilmore 2, we finally got the trailer. It looks fucking bonkers. Sandler is a Netflix guy. I pray and hope that if somehow in some alternate world where these guys are too snobby at the Academy, which would have been that was a thing. But hopefully it's not still a thing where because of Happy Gilmore and the kind of slapstickiness of it and the buffoonery of it, that it would ruin Sandler's chances for a movie like Jay Kelly, which I think he's going to get nominated for supporting actor. That's the only thing I'm praying. Let this thing be funny. This Happy Gilmore cult comedy classic. Let that be a thing. Let Adam Sandler be a buffoon and hit some golf balls. That doesn't have to correspond to any of his Oscar-worthy material. And I just hope that that's not the case, because we've seen that happen to various actors in the past, whether you're talking about Jim Carrey or Eddie Murphy or, frankly, even Adam Sandler with coming along in movies like Punch Drunk Love and Uncut Gems. But he's going to keep sending his friends to Hawaii and doing dumb movies like Grown Ups and shit like that, too. It's okay. I was also really excited to see teaser, I guess, or it was kind of like a lookbook, like presentation of Stranger Things that they did at the end of the presentation. It's got the weirdest fucking release schedule. It's like 3 chapters. They're doing a chapter on Thanksgiving, I think. They're doing a chapter on Christmas. And they're doing a chapter on New Year's Eve. And I'm like, if I'm a super fan of Stranger Things, which, I mean, I am. I don't have to be there on day 1 necessarily, but I am very excited to finally wrap this fucking thing up. I mean, these kids are like 30 at this point. I would be like, dude, I need to see my family. Like, what? Like, I can't watch a chapter of Stranger Things on Thanksgiving Day. My mom expects me to come over and bring the fucking green bean casserole. And then the last one is New Year's Eve. It's like, are we going to watch the ball drop? Are we going to kiss our significant other? Or are we going to watch Stranger Things come to an end? It's actually a tough call. What else happened in Hollywood this week that you may have missed? Over on Twitter, I saw a couple tweets from pretty reliable sources that Ryan Coogler is reportedly developing a Sinners sequel. That's A. And already you go, what? Well, here's 2. It could include a supporting performance or a appearance in the film from a Mr. Tom Cruise.
And you must be out of your mind.
I saw this and I lost my shit for about 10 or 15 seconds, and I started Googling it, going on Twitter, looking up hashtags. Ryan Coogler actually came out maybe the next day and said, no, I don't have any plans to make a Sinners sequel, even though it sounds really fucking cool. I wanted Sinners to be a non-franchise, non-attached IP thing, which it of course is at this point, because he had done Black Panther and all the other things. So as of right now, it's more of a rumor, but I wanted to touch on it because I wanted to ask you guys, can you imagine a fucking Sinners movie? Even remotely like the one we got with Michael B. Jordan playing Smoke and Stack again. And then in that movie, you have Tom Cruise. And imagine they give Cruise a stunt where he like fights a vampire and has to, hold his breath under holy water for 90 minutes.
I would like to see it.
Sources say Ariana Grande, God, you guys know I love her, Queen Ari. I can't wait to be leading the charge for Wicked's for Good, Ari Oscar campaign again for the 2nd year in a row. But Ariana Grande, it's being reported that she's going to play the fiance to Ben Stiller and Terry Polo's son in Meet the Parents 4. Now listen, this is a series that the first couple of films, Meet the Parents obviously is a freaking comedy classic in my opinion, and Meet the Fockers was good, right? Was that the second one, Meet the Fockers, which is just fucking hilarious to me. Meet the Parents 3, what was that? That's pretty forgettable because honestly I didn't even know that existed until it said Meet the Parents 4 here. I don't even fucking remember what was 3 again? Ariana Grande is a divine queen. It says that she is going to play a ball-busting woman who seems to be the wrong fit for their son. First of all, that sounds like the greatest suspension of disbelief that a moviegoer would have to have, that Ariana Grande would be the wrong fit for your kid. Fucking get on board, parents. Ben Stiller, you know better than that. You've been around celebrities. That's the pinnacle, brother. Let's not turn this into a Pete Davidson situation, but I'm just saying, if Ariana Grande showed up at Thanksgiving, as long as she wasn't watching the new Netflix Stranger Things drop, come on in. Our home, mi casa es su casa. I love you, Ari. Will you sign my jacket? And then I would go back to, serving turkey or whatever. And the last one I'll end on, how about this? Talk about me being creepy over Ariana Grande. I got an even better one for you. Sydney Sweeney, possibly the biggest blonde bombshell in Hollywood since Marilyn Monroe. Just voluptuous and beautiful, and I'm gonna stop there. She is releasing a new men's soap called Bathwater Bliss. And the company that's going to be making this soap is called Dr. Squatch. It was about a year ago that she entered into a marketing agreement with them, and she basically became their spokeswoman on social media ads and whatnot. They're actually really funny. Well, 5,000 bars is going to be a limited quantity of soap, and it's going to be made with and infused with Sydney Sweeney's actual bathwater. Now, guys, I have a bit of a reputation as being creepy, Gerald, which is fine. I love beautiful women. What do you want from me? But this is weird, right? This is strange, but I know this is not the first time. There was a very popular OnlyFans model who actually became a multi-millionaire because she was sending her supporters literal bathwater in vials to their home when they purchased it for X number of dollars and being a member to their channel. So this has happened before, but Sydney Sweeney is on a whole nother level. Now, are they actually letting her take baths and then she gets out of the bath and they're using that water? My guess would be no. Are men stupid and they're going to believe that and this is going to sell out in a day? Yes, this absolutely will sell out in a day. Will I have a bar of this soap? Will I use it? Probably. That is shit you missed. Guys, I need to know if you like this, if it gets views, if you comment, if you tell me you want to see it. I'll keep doing it every week. Like I said, about 10 minutes or so every week. What was the biggest story that kind of made your eyebrow go up when you heard it? Let me know down below. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel. It means the world to me. And if you are a regular to this channel, I'm asking for your support because I've recently shut down my Patreon to shift it over here to YouTube channel memberships. You get all kinds of stuff, which includes custom emotes, even one of my face, Mikey Madison, Timmy Chalamet, the mom from Parasite. Plus, you'll get all my non-time sensitive videos early. Any of my rankings or countdowns, which tend to be the most popular on the channel, I'll give my members early, at least a couple days in advance. And I'm going to do live stream brainstorming sessions for my members only when it comes to my Oscar predictions. So when I'm changing my predictions and I'm moving things around at crucial parts of the year throughout award season, I'll have that brainstorming session with my supporters and I'll actually let you guys influence where the rankings kind of end up. So if you want to consider joining the channel, it's literally a couple bucks a month and it would mean the world to me. Just click join down below and you can be a part of the Garage team out here. I will see you guys next time. Please let me know, by the way, if you like this shit you missed series, and I'll continue it. This is the very, very first one. I'll see you guys next time in the garage.